Hey everyone, Dr. Tom Chaney here from Living Health Integrative Medicine in Annapolis. And in today's video, I want to talk more about gluten and specifically some of the common clinical symptoms that I see of gluten sensitivity and gluten reactivity. The thing that many patients don't understand is that these types of food reactions, especially to gluten, can affect many different parts of the body. And I've been gluten-free for many years now, and it was when I came across this test that we currently run in the office. I ran it on myself and discovered that I was super reactive to gluten, something that I never thought I had a problem with, but when I looked at the test results, the tests were off the chart. So that was a wake-up call for me that I didn't have any gastrointestinal issues. That's what most people think of when they think that they have an issue with gluten. They think of celiac disease. That's the most common condition associated with gluten reactivity and gluten sensitivity. But I didn't have that. I had these markers that showed that I was very sensitive, so I decided to cut it out. And here's what I noticed that I had more energy. I noticed that my joint pain, especially I had knee pain, the knee pain went away totally. And I noticed that brain fog that I had and just like clarity of thought was much improved. So here are some common symptoms that I find with gluten sensitivity. And gastrointestinal issues, like as I mentioned, that's one of the most common issues that people think of when they think of gluten sensitivity and celiac disease. But there's a whole nother spectrum of people and a whole nother group of people that are non-celiac gluten sensitive. So it can affect you in other ways. It can affect how you're thinking as far as your mood, your behavior, depression, anxiety. These are all very common symptoms of gluten sensitivity. Fatigue, as I mentioned, that was one of mine. And I noticed that when I cut gluten out and if I brought gluten back into my diet, that's one of the first things I noticed was that my energy level was just drained. So fatigue is a common one. We talked about behavior. Joint pain, another one that I had, joint pain and swelling. That's another common one that I see with patients. Brain fog, I mentioned how that affected me. Nerve pain, so we have patients that come to us for neuropathy. And we see that that can be a trigger for the immune system to affect the nerves, and that can cause nerve pain, so that's another common issue. And then loss of balance. So we can see how it can affect the brain function, specifically the cerebellum and also other parts of the brain. But loss of balance, coordination, that's also common. I had one patient specifically that I was treating who noticed that when he brought gluten back in his diet, when he would get up in the morning, it would take him an hour or so just to kind of get his bearings because his balance was so off in the morning. It just kind of took a while to get him going. So it can definitely affect balance and coordination. And what he noticed when he took gluten out of his diet, he did not have those symptoms at all. So pretty amazing how gluten can affect you. One of the ways that we see how sensitive you are is through testing. And I mean, we can do some clinical tests, but also some laboratory tests that we can do to see where the reactions are, how bad the reactions are, and how it's affecting your body. So I hope you got some good information from this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you want more information on gluten or whole grains, check out my book, Lose the Gluten, Lose Your Gut, Ditch the Grain, Save Your Brain. So if you're having symptoms like you're just feeling tired all the time, or you have joint pain or gut issues, or maybe brain fog, or just moody and depressed, then you may be suffering from some of the issues and the effects of gluten. So this book explains how it affects the body, some of the different symptoms, and it can get you on a path to living gluten-free. So check out the book. You can pick it up on Amazon or check it out on our website.